Welcome to the Strategic Oracle.
Today we're talking about
I am simply adoring being able to do this future-oriented forecast, to look at trends, to look at industries, to look at the collapse of each as we're going through this new era. And so what does it mean in this episode? We are going to be talking about marketing, and we're going to be talking about it from a perspective of what is working, because we know that there's so much noise out there. We know that there are so many things for people to read and to listen to and to watch. We know that there's been an increase in the value given, the increase in the videos that you can watch, the increase in the perfection and the performative and the editing. And yet, this is a game that those of us who have actual businesses, who have actual, I always say, like, I have a job, I don't need another job. And yet, in this attention-starved economy, we want to make sure that we are seen and heard and known. And so there isn't a delicate balance. It isn't like threading the needle. This is a full embodiment to move from that I need more followers mentality to that, ooh, I desire a frequency match. To a, ooh, what if my video would go viral, we say with our fingers crossed and our, like hope in our belly, to, it's my desire to go true, to be true to those who are my people. And so in this episode, it's perfect because it's an activation for you as we redefine what visibility means and how it works. Because in this new era, marketing isn't about that manipulating behavior that we all know that we don't like, and it feels cheesy and all the things. And yet, how many have counters? How many do close doors? How many do the pain points for that sense of urgency? It's still being done because it's working. It's no longer going to work. It's all about magnetizing the truth, your truth. So let's look at what's breaking. Let's look at marketing and say, okay, the machine, it's breaking. So old era marketing tells you need to be everywhere. You need to say it more clearly. You need to be more consistent. You want to have that urgency, the scarcity, and a CTA that is repeated. You need ads, you need analytics, and you still need an email funnel just to make one offer. But guess what? Everybody's been doing it. Everybody's been doing it for a while, and people are exhausted. They don't want to be chased. They want to feel something. And the algorithms that are out there can't decode energy, but people can. They can smell fakeness. They can see the breakdown. They can see the performative nature. Oh, they might be swept up in it and then spend $17 on something, but they're certainly not going to be expecting, if you are a graphic designer, or if you are a business coach, or if you are a skincare expert, or if you are a stylist, they're not expecting you to be a professional videographer. Because yes, I believe that an expectation was out there immediately post-pandemic, but it has been waning for the last year because common sense wins out. If someone has enough time to do, 10 reels and 4 videos and, all the things, unless they're batching and have a, high-end professional service to do the editing, to do the posting, to do the curation, because it's no longer good enough just to put the video out there. You have to curate. You're going to have to curate the content. You're going to have to curate the following. You're going to have to message, and you're going to have to be heartfelt with that. And you're going to have to draw people in. And so you need a whole team for that. So sure, there could be people that are making the $5 to $10 million that have that team. But for those that are in that point of I've got making about $500,000, I'm making $1 million, making 1.2, $2 million, even up to three. You're managing and you are growing. You're making sure your platform's in place, you're making sure your structure's in place, making sure your teams are in place. I mean, AI is going to help you. Great. So that's been a relief, but things are changing so fast that you're still going to need to pivot and keep up. And so you're not going to have that clean, polished. You're not going to have that perfectly phrased, I give my tagline, which is just exquisite. It rings false now because there's this breakdown of those tactics. You're not here to be visible. You're here to be vibrationally unmistakable. So, as I always say, astrology is the first step. The stars are the first step. The geopolitical and or economic levers, depending on which side of the market we're talking about, right? Those are going to be second and third. The industry trend is going to be fourth. And then the niches are going to be fifth. And here we are, there are businesses. We're like sixth, seventh, and eighth, right? So for us to catch up, gee, wouldn't we want to leapfrog over that and get to the stars? Yes. And I thank you so much for listening to it. As Uranus is moving into Gemini, which is happening on July 7th, 2025, and it's going to be there until 2033, we're going to have a little bit of a brief go back into Taurus for a little bit at the back half of this year. And then in 2032, we're going to have a little bit of a revisit as it's moving into Cancer. But we have a 7 year, that's 7 years. That's a long time. And Uranus is what is ruling the technology and the digital breakthroughs, but things break down before they break through. So I can't tell you how many people have been like reaching out to me over the last few months and saying, technology's not working. And I'm the queen of that, right? Like, I have gone through a catastrophic system fail. It's fingers crossed, eyes closed, scrunchy face. Hopefully it's done. Um, and no, Mercury's not retrograde. Poor Mercury's getting all the bad rap. The little guy is just getting like, hey, dudes, I'm the messenger for Uranus, right? And Uranus is like, ha, 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 ha. And then we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is dissolving everything. And Aquarius is associated with technology too. So Pluto and Uranus are like laughing the mighty laugh. And meanwhile, Mercury feels like he's been beaten up. But this is a thing, guys. Like this is getting us to prioritize what's really important, to determine what, just because something is doable, i.e., I can write 5 articles, I can have 20 reels, I can have 14 podcasts. I'm making all this up, right? Like that, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Because Uranus is so incredibly sophisticated. I mean, I'm kind of in awe of Uranus. I'm low key. Like I mean, if Uranus were a dude, I'd totally have like he'd be my like, oh, so you have book boyfriends. Like I think Uranus is my cosmic boyfriend. Honestly, I mean, I freaking adore him. He's wildly unpredictable, but he's all that. I mean, he is like the lightning bolt. He's charismatic. Think like Zeus, right? Like he's like the dude, right? And so here he is. And in Gemini is the communication, is the technology, is the marketing, is the messaging, is the sales, is the onboarding, is the delivery, the training, the presentation, the media. I mean, here we go, right? And there's sudden changes and unexpectedness when Uranus is moving from one zodiac to another zodiac sign. And so this is why we're having all the instability, but there's a liberation that comes with it. And with that liberation and that freedom, there's that redefinition. So you can redefine this the way you want it to work with you. So let's just do a little bit of a backtrack here. So Uranus was in Taurus since 2018. And so Uranus disrupted real estate, banking, physical money, disrupted food systems, agriculture, supply chains, and disrupted our relationship with stability. Why? To get us ready, to how we can be truly innovative for a future. Because that's the thing. Uranus is all about our future. You don't have to guess why he's my cosmic boyfriend, because I'm future girl, right? Potential. So Uranus and Gemini, what does this mean? I just talked about it, communication, thought, media, learning. And in that lightning bolt, energy, this is where those fast changes. So if you've been listening to me for a while, I've been saying it's like a G force because Gemini doesn't have, like moss doesn't grow under Gemini at all. There's nothing staid about Gemini. So just think about AI and digital communication. Think of thought leadership and just the magnitude of what's out there. So if it doesn't become emotional, if there isn't a tie-in, if there isn't that authenticity, that story, that charm, that magnetism, it's just another really good piece of advice. And so we want to look at our voice from a resonant perspective, our story as an identifier, our embodiment of the grounding of this, because this isn't about like having the most beautiful brand assets. Everybody can do that. This is about having our connections being really intimate, really landing with people. And it's like that short term content dominance. It's like that micro niching, micro messaging. So your voice becomes your value. And you can decide whether you want to adapt and articulate and automate, or you can decide, not really ready. Because I will tell you, the people that are doing that adaptation and that automation and that articulation are the ones that are going to win. Now, let's go a little bit further. Let's widen the lens and say, okay, I know we have other stars. Like, gee, Kim may be low key in love with Uranus, but there are other stars out there, right? So Jupiter is in Cancer, and Jupiter just moved into Cancer, depending on when you're listening to this, but it was June 9th of 2025. And so that means that Jupiter revved up everybody and got everybody at least to be open to this Gemini energy, because Jupiter moved from Gemini into Cancer. And it's like, phew, thank goodness Gemini is not having both Jupiter and Uranus here while Pluto is in Aquarius. This is where the stars are super, super supportive, guys. I mean, it's like crazy. So with Jupiter in Cancer, that's where that emotional component comes in. That's where the resonance comes in. That's where the vibes being in congruence comes in. That's where the story comes in. A Neptune in Aries, which we know moved in March. This is where it's like it's not okay to be fake. It's you want to like literally Aries wants to burn that down. And if you're not embodied, now you're just like a bobblehead that is just out there like a talking head, and there's nothing to attach anybody to. So when you think about Neptune in Aries, I want to just go then to that a little bit deeper, because Aries wants you to do things based on you. Everything's about you. So Aries is like super selfish, but it's good here. Neptune is super kumbaya. So the combination is really interesting. And you've heard me talk about it different ways. I'm going to talk about it in a different way right now. But this is where it's like external validation doesn't work. If something drains you, you have to start over. This means that it's not for you. Because in the last 14 years, Neptune's been in Pisces and it's been dissolving, and like the boundaries have been like, la, 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 no big deal. It has had the ability to reveal, but nah, we can kick the can down the road. It doesn't really matter. We're going to do some really groovy, creative stuff, and it's going to be awesome, and everybody's going to love it. And, like look at all the things that have come out in like Netflix and Prime Video, and just think about that. Think about the just dissolving of the way that the airwaves on television have worked. I'm not even talking about streaming. I'm just talking about, say you still have TV and you're still using some sort of mechanism, whether it's Hulu or Roku or something like that. Wow, you have so many more things available to you now. It's like Neptune and Pisces with the democratization of media. And it was in a very fluffy, low-key kind of way. It just kind of happened. Now all of a sudden Neptune moves into Aries, and it's like, yeah, but you know what? What is really, what's revealing? So it wouldn't be surprising to me if there are discordants with people's pay, how they're getting paid, or how they're getting recognized, or how they're actually, performing, from a director to a producer to an executive producer to an actor. That's where Neptune and Aries will bring those things up. And so if there's any sort of recalibration that needs to be done, that's perfect. That's on them. The other thing that's going to become really evident is because anybody can have a TV show now. Like you can stream online, you can buy a URL service, you can say I have a TV show and that's great. So that's beautiful. I mean, if that's what you want to do and you're really good at doing that, I think that that's awesome. How is it different than a YouTube channel? Well, you have the opportunity to be literally on the big screen somewhere, right? But think about, I can't tell you how many people have said, well, I'm going to do a TV show and you can be the founder and it's the best thing in the world. And oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And 4 people watch it, right? You could have done that with Neptune in Pisces. You can't do that with Neptune in Aries. It's just not going to work. So that's really good. So this democratization with Neptune in Aries is going to eliminate. It's like a firestorm. It's going to be like, yeah, you know what? This isn't appropriate there. Go back to your YouTube channel because that's the crowd that you have, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But not to posture like I am a TV, icon when you're really not. And so when you're looking at this, think about Neptune and Aries bringing a brand new dream cycle. Your personal identity becomes the access point. So if you were to say, you know what, I do want to be on TV, I'm just going to extend this example. If you were to say, I do want to be on TV, then you can, with your own pivot point, get on actual TV. And again, it can look different. It can be on a streaming service. It can be in some way, but there's going to be audience there. You're going to own it. This is where that maverick and the rebel and the genius come together. Because when you then combine it with Pluto in Aquarius, again from 2024 to 2044, when you think about the decentralization of power, that's what Pluto in Aquarius is. This means is that it's your voice. It's not your viral reach that builds loyalty. I mean, how many people can look at an Insta profile and know within a nanosecond what somebody bought the followers, right? I've got 33,000 followers, but I've got 62 people that have liked my reel. Really? Or you have not even, we're not even going to do likes or comments. You have, viewership. You've got, I don't know, 500, which is great. 500 people are great, but not if you have 30,000 people that are actually in your audience and want to be in your audience. This kind of thing is going to be super, super evident, and it's becoming more evident now. So when you think about the power, right? The power in a Pluto and Aquarius scenario is that it shifts to the people. This is why I've been saying to everyone that it's a buyer's community now. It's a buyer's time. The buyers have the say, not the sellers. So think about it. In real estate, it's completely opposite. In the real estate, there's so many communities that are, house and apartment and condo constricted that they don't have enough for people. So the prices have gone up. So it's a seller's market. As a buyer, you're the one that has to go through hoops and make sure you have everything in place. And the seller can say, yeah, good or not good. It's completely different in pretty much every other industry. Not all of them, but most of them. And it's because there isn't a limit, right? We don't have a limit of supply. There are a lot of stylists and skincare experts and coaches and graphic designers out there. It's easier to reach them. It has been so incredibly easy. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say back in 2022, I had said it is going to be really tough to watch, guys, for the next 3 years, because it is going to be anybody who has a microphone, anybody who's read a book can come off as an expert, and it's going to be really hard to watch. If you've got 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of expertise, and you get caught up a little bit into trying to explain something in that 1, 2, 3 formula, right? You're more in that expert workhorse energy. You're not in that show pony, gazelle energy. You could have been trampled on in the last few years. And I've seen it all over the place. Guess what? That time is over. That Neptune and Aries combined with that Pluto and Aquarius, yes, we had that dissolution and that distribution to everybody, but now it's like, oh, I can see what's fake. yeah, something's not really right, but I don't really know what it is. Or the one that I really hate, I already spent money with three other people and it didn't get me anything. That all those three things combined. So there is none of that. Like we think about gatekeepers and we think about, oh, that's like a limit or a barrier to entry. No, it can also be the gatekeepers are these performative videos. Again, I'm in marketing. That's why I'm overemphasizing this. Or the fact that we now have AI, or we have like these beautifully written, branding assets. We've got these amazing, real scripts now. We've got the teleprompters. And so people can still have incredible presence. But yet, with everybody waking up, there's a transparency, there's an autonomy, there's an energetic alignment that's desired. And so, when we think about thought leaders and we think about value creation, and we think about, again, I'm in the online world because I'm either in ads or I'm in radio, or I'm in podcast, I'm in some sort of media, right? So it's Uranus and Gemini. It just wants to be here. Um, Think about the people that are collaborating and that are sharing and not just giving things away, but like being really methodical about it and leaving these beautiful breadcrumbs for people. They're the ones that are going to build empires. So people have been coming to me and saying, "Wow, you have so much content." And I've been centralizing that in my world, right? So I've got these beautiful listen note playlists, and I have this gorgeous astrology hub, and I've got my blog that is categorized beautifully, and all the things. And I feel badly because I've got, a few hundred rabid followers, which I simply adore you and I can't thank you enough. I don't have the tens of thousands. And yet, with the book, my New Era Millionaire book, my goal is to be in the right rooms. My goal is to be having people have that 300-page, absolute delicious, message that puts them in the center and is written just for them to come to be and say, wow, guess what? I'm now holding the vibration of this book. So we have a beautifully webbing, woven energy that goes out there that's like connective tissue that all of a sudden I do have 1,000 and then 2,000 and 3,000 readers and then 4,000, 5,000. Now I've got the listeners of the podcast. Now I've got the readers of the blog. Now I've got the, subscribers of the YouTube channel. And all of a sudden that content doesn't look like it's too much because I'm not just feeding my rabid followers. Oh yeah, the people that are doing this are going to be building empires. So when we think about it being a buyer's community, it's a buyer's game. So full service, high quality, and micro niching, very personalized for delivery. However, if you're doing that and you don't have the bandwidth for it, your customer service is going to lack. You can call it nurturance, you can call it onboarding, you can call it alumni programs, you can call it customer loyalty, you can call it client retention, whatever your words are, that's first and foremost always, because you put that in the center and you spool out from there. You put your expertise at the center and you cascade out. You put your authenticity and your real personal stories and wear them and then tell them. This is the game changer. This is everything. You will show up. People will find you. People will be, oh my God, I've been looking for you for so long. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. Thank you so much for having the conversation with me. Oh my God, when you were, in saying that in this podcast or saying this in this interview or writing this in the blog, you were speaking directly to me. That is what you're looking for. So that's the power shifting to the people. When the technology is non-negotiable. So think about this. AI is here to stay. Data is plentiful and everything's decentralized. So it's already a component no matter what you're doing. So if you are, an in-person therapist, and if you don't have any presence whatsoever, unless you have exactly what people are looking for and in the way that people are looking for and clients who can refer you, or you're associated with an association or a partner, you too need an online presence. You too need some technology to help you. You too need that support because it could be the antithesis of that. Oh my goodness, I am in such high demand and I can't find any support. So how can I use technology to help me with my scheduling, to help me with my, processing, but like for third-party billing, what have you. So this is where technology, that platform is key, even more so with Uranus and Gemini. And what about when I talked about values driving visibility? So any business, even personal brand, even influencer, even, celebrity that isn't rooted in integrity and doesn't have passion for their mission, they're no longer going to last because you have to walk your talk and talk your walk. And clients and prospects and followers and audience are going to know that it's not real. And again, this is different than it was before because we had that 14 years of Neptune being in Pisces so people could get away with things. And within the last 3 years, we had Saturn in Pisces. And that's why I said those 3 years are going to really be tough to watch. No longer for either one of those. And so Saturn is like, did you refine? Did you reprioritize? Are you real? Are you true to yourself? If not, literally, Saturn flicks you off like a bug and sends you off into the stratosphere. So, about media, about marketing, this is where broadcasting, I'm going to say something kind of weird right now. Like, instead of like, I'm broadcasting. So, if you've been following me for a while, you know that my least favorite thing is those 30-second reels. You guys, I hate them. I really do. I've done everything to do them. I like, ugh, they're just not, 30 seconds or less, I can't say anything, right? I'm going, ugh. And you're supposed to hit the CTA and you're supposed to get the first 3 seconds. And then you're supposed to get the 17 seconds and all this other crap, right? And did you say it right? And did you move your head? And did you not move your head? Did you, no, it doesn't work for me at all, right? So I'm really glad that this is going away. Thank God, right? But when I am in the, you know what, I don't care how it turns out. I don't care when I hit the mark. I don't care if I don't hit the mark. As long as I don't meander, I'm good. And that's where I'm beaming. That's where I am exuding what's really important. That's when I'm landing it, whether it's that sophisticated or not. And it's also changing. This is what I adore. It's changing. This is where that Jupiter in Cancer, it's changing from look at me to feel me. And it's moving from volume to vibration. So you don't have to be everywhere. You want to be in frequency. So, clients that are out there or prospective, people that you're going to hire or prospects for you, like notice what's happening from a frequency perspective and notice what you're gravitating to. Because I always say this to my clients, you're your own ideal client. So when you go through that marketing, when you're saying like, who's my ideal client and I want a micro niche or a niche or, I want to target, whatever the words you're using, wherever you are in that, you think about what it is that I always say this to my clients, think about what you want first. What does appeal to you? What doesn't appeal to you? What do you like to see? What don't you like to see? Now, yes, we all like the glam video. That's hilarious. That's awesome. You know, but we're not always gonna hit that. That's like the golf shot, right? Short of that, what do you like to see? Do you like to read versus view? Do you like to listen versus watch? Do you like the longer versus the shorter? Do you like the fast talker, the slow talker? This matters because this is you and this is what you like. Guaranteed the people that you're attracting are going to like the same things. Like attracts like. That is still a universal law. No matter where the planets are, that is true. So if you are a person that doesn't like to do this much content, it's not really in the flow for you, post 1 or 2 times a week. I can tell you client stories that I have done this or we've shifted down or winnowed down to one platform or we've gotten off of all platforms and we've gotten into the right rooms. Hands down, every single one of those clients has gone through an incredible growth. Because it's all about being in the right rooms, guys. It's even still. And so think about it for you right now. What could be a really great takeaway for you? Think about AI can write your copies, they can help you figure out your ideal client, can help you with your content. And guess what? Everybody else is doing that. Every single other person is doing that. So unless you're going to be at the forefront of having an AI bot, having an app, having what the next thing is that I don't even know yet, then you're in the game with the rest of us, right? So if it's not that copy content, even micro niching, it's about your field. So let go of things that don't align with you. So I may be revamping the weekly forecast, guys, because I got to tell you, they're killing me. I've done a weekly forecast. It wasn't on the podcast at first, but I've done it since February of 2022. So think about how many weeks that is, right? I'm in like the 150 to 100, like 200 week of this, right? Then I added they used to be videos. Now they're reels. I've got to tell you, if you want to talk to me about what stresses me out, it's those two things that stress me out the most. Really? That seems kind of ridiculous when you think about all the other things that I do, right? So I'm in that question mark. And we'll see where I go on that. But think about that. If it's really draining you, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you're writing for search engines or the title numbers or something, you're not writing for soul. So you're missing the mark there. If you're faking urgency to increase conversions, it's not going to work. If you're being consistent but not being clear, it's also not going to work. And if you're trying to build trust before you're actually resonating with people, that's not working. So we're going to let go of that entire stack. And let's think about what we're embodying. We're embodying the storytelling that's tied to your energetic truth. The offers that feel like they're that boost for people instead of just being products. We're looking at that. What can you create a ritual out of about your visibility? And how can you get rhythmic about it? How can we do this beautiful dance? Like back in like 2019, top of 2020, I had this beautiful rhythm that I loved that I'm going to go back to. That was like a short post, a quote, now I would say a meme. I didn't have video then. I would obviously have video or a reel. It was like listen to the podcast. Then it would be like doing a story. I mean, I really like that rhythm and I've gotten away from it. And building on this content for the podcast, it seems like every single marketing message now is to go listen to the podcast. Yawn, right? It's like it's just two one note. Been consistent, but it's too one note. There's not that facility. There's not that dance. There's not that charm. There's not that magnetism. So whatever's true for you, that's what you want to go to. And think about invitations, right? So I've always said that you want to invite people, you want to entice people, you want to enchant them, you want to magnetize them. And so that's where we want to make sure that we're recognizing that when we're wearing something, other people are going to be able to sense it. So here's a few questions. Ask yourself, what energy are you infusing with your messages? Are you showing up just because it's been a calendar laid out and it's been somebody else's strategy? Or is it something that you're so passionate about? I always say to my clients, what can't you shut up about? And what does it feel like to experience me on Insta? What does it feel like to experience me on YouTube? What does it feel like to experience me in email? What does it feel like to experiencing me from the stage? What does it feel like to experience me on a podcast, right? Like, where I'm going with this. Ask yourself, ask a few really trusted others how it feels. So we're just going to do something quick here. Take an email or a post or a video and read it out loud to yourself really slowly. Now, I would say close your eyes, but you can't because you're reading it, right? But I want you to get into your body and I want you to be listening to your body when you're reading this because you're asking yourself, is this really me? Or is it just something that's practiced? and then rewrite just one word or one sentence that's truly from your heart. And this isn't throwing it into chat to do it. It's from your heart. And even ask yourself, I'm going to go one step further. Ask yourself, why would I love this email or post or presentation or podcast? Why would I love it? That's where we're going with this. And let's go into this activation for your unique magnetism, because it really matters. So we've got the wise strategist that is so incredibly rooted. You have such calm. You have such presence. You are a thought leader. You can bring people to you versus going and dancing around to others. So you want to think simple and strong. So it's better to have one than like 3 or 4. It would be great for you to do a cornerstone piece, either at the top of the week or the top of the month, and have thematic things come out of it from that cornerstone. For you, intuitive visionary, you're seeing the future of messaging. You're leading the wave. So say the bold things that you may not have been saying, or repeat the bold things that you've been saying, but do it from the place of power, not the place of sound. And your future insight is your business edge. For you, collaborative explorer, co-creation of community-based visibility, panels, recording with a partner, being inside of a community, having other people in the room, interviews, things like that, that's perfect for you. For you, ruling warrior, you can cut through the noise with your fierce clarity. Don't wait. Do it now. Your clarity actually comes from action. So you're going to get clear, take action, get clear. It's just as simple as that. Creative superstar, you can turn content into portals. So you're the one that can film it, speak it, share it. And when you let your personality lead, that's when you become the Pied Piper. For you, loving alchemist, it is about that depth. It's about that frequency. It's about the beauty of being you. Make your message feel like the transformation you want your clients to have, and use it with warmth and trust. Because marketing is no longer about attention. It's about alignment. It's about you inviting your people back to themselves through your truth, whether you're selling a product or a service, no matter what your pricing is. So I simply adore you. Personally, I've been loving this series so much. I'm going to be doing more things from an economic perspective, from a business industry trend perspective, from a wealth intelligence, from a money financial. I don't think I'm going to go into financial markets. I don't want to go into geopolitical, but I'm not saying no. This is my bailiwick. This is what I know, and I'm being true to myself. So hopefully that aligns with you and that resonates with you. But if not, no worries. I'm still going to be doing the lunar rituals. I'm still going to be doing the monthly forecast. Like I said, I'm revisiting the weekly forecast. I might dance it around my emails. My first email is that beautiful newsletter gift of the month. My second one is all about abundance. My third one is all about the new era. My fourth one is all about wealth. So and wealth and abundance are different. Yes, they are. I might be replacing one of those with like more business orientation. I'm just refining, and honestly, because I walk my talk and talk my walk, I'm doing it towards what's more true for me, and I know it's going to be high value. So, as always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be bold, be clear. You don't need everyone to hear you. You just need the right people to feel you. And when they do, they'll never forget who you are. I simply adore you. And happy soul tidings. You've been listening to the Strategic Oracle, where success isn't scaled from speed, but from soul. If this stirred something real, follow it. Apply for activation enter the vault, or pause right here. Integration is leadership too. Because the truth is, you were never meant to chase the timing. You are meant to become it.